Greetings! Welcome to the Devlog for hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades. We're going to start off as always with a quick sound check. Make sure speakers aren't up too high. Wonderful. So what have we got for you this week? Well, you might be like, what's going on? It is dark and I can see both of Anton's eyes at once. There's a reason for this, and some of you who have either looked at the thumbnail or have taken some smart guesses this week probably know what it is, which is that this lazy dev has finally gotten some semblance of night vision into the game. Although there's no update, this is still very much in progress. There's a bunch to do, but I've got a whole bunch to show you folks. So I'm going to use a testing AKM because for some reasons I will explain in a bit. Only certain things are operational here. So, and we've got a SOSIG spawner. I have darkened up the Arizona at night scene considerably. It is now much closer to, I feel like, what it should be. Let's go ahead and grab some shot dogs here, which we will basically not even be able to see, which is also the point. Pop one there. Pop one a little further away. Not what I would want to be facing from a luminance standpoint here, but we can, of course, grab ourselves. These are all just ghost DRs with shared parameters, and I'll show you why in a moment. Pop that to 1x, and so let's take a look at what would be a Generation 1 night vision view. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? We've got accurate noise. This is, of course, an all-A special here, which means that everything is actually data-driven. This is like the realistic amount of noise, the realistic sort of behavior for them. You will get proper dimming. Let's grab ourselves... Well, yeah, let's just start with just some Full Metal Jacket rounds here so that we can just see the muzzle flash through this. You'll see we get momentary dimming. And you can also see it probably I'm shooting out of my left eye because that's just what I'm used to doing for testing. Like so. If we give this some tracers. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Gorgeous. Just gorgeous.
For serious?
Incidentally, to show you how smart the systems are for the luminance correction, we can actually stack night vision scopes like such, and they actually just adjust correct luminance relative to each other for the most part. It's a little brighter through here, but it hasn't completely blown out because the back one is adjusting to the front one. Not that that's actually useful, but just thought I would show it because it's cool. We can also just swap this out for just like a Generation 3, which is even clearer looking, less noise, I believe faster response as well. Incidentally, if we also put on a suppressor here, let's just grab a random one. We won't get muzzle flash. Yeah, there we go. So we won't get dimming each time we shoot. Wonderful. So there is that. There is that. Ooh, yeah, and just because some folks will be like, what about the other colors? Because there is totally just a non-tinted green version for these things. So, oops, that is zoomed up. There we go. There's our super modern looking night vision. Thank you for your service testing, wieners. Cool. So let's go ahead and clear those. Let's spawn some more. And there's a bunch of things that are really cool about the night vision. And one of the things and this is just a prototype system. I'm still working on so many things involving its flow and things like that. But you might be asking, Well, night vision isn't typically attached to the weapon. It's mainly attached to your head. So can you do that? And the answer is yes. Pull these down. This is why we have binocular vision enabled, so that you can see me line this one. I just have these set to very manually be operated. Line this one up on the left. And there we go. Binocular night vision. I love the way the panels look in this. Let's and so that you can just see the see what happens when we see incredibly bright things. Come over here, duplicate this, not set ourselves on fire. Yonk! Oh, that landed a bit short. That did too. I'm just terrible with these. There we go. Did that get him? Or did that knock him away? I can't see. The fire is so bright that it just kind of completely blows out my night vision.
Coordination.
Which is what... There we go. I think that got him. I'm fairly certain. Pull one of these away momentarily. Up. It's very bright and very dark. So basically just no matter what with the fire, it's just not a great situation. Cool. I also love the look of, what is it? Let's go back into our fireworks. Yeah. The way these look. Oh, they just black out your whole view. I love it. Wonderful. Just wonderful. So yeah. So there you have those. Let's pull those up and out of view. What else? So, of course, that wasn't actually a majority of the work, because night vision, you know, while sophisticated, is just light amplification. It doesn't necessarily do something very exotic rendering-wise. The other part of this, which Ala has gotten working and will take a significant amount of time to modify things for the game, that's why I only have one gun that is even set up for this right now, is that we have some thermal scopes. You know, I'm going to reload this scene because these might still be drawing. There we go. Reset scene. I have to be able to do binocular view currently, I have it set where up to 2 scopes can render at once, and some of the scopes are a little expensive, so some of these features are definitely not all configurations of PC safe. Just to warn you, there's just certain things that are just fundamentally way more expensive to draw, including one of these therms I'm about to show you. I'm gonna pull open some shot dogs here. Some more testing wieners. And then we are going to grab our tracers. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go from cheap to expensive. These are 5. These aren't necessarily modeled off of the exact stats of some real world thermal, but they're close. They're just to show you how cheap to expensive this sort of thing can get. So this is your bargain, absolute basement cost, super budget. This has a 640 by 480 display and a 160 by 120 sensor and a refresh rate of 9 Hertz. Oh, I'm trying to position it as far back on the rail as possible to really fill our vision with it. Just look at that. I've got different thermal LUTs, i.e. Sort of color ranges on each of these. It isn't that each one of these necessarily maps to this quality of thermal sight. Many of them, most thermal sights can sort of pick which way they're displaying the information to you. I just picked a range of them here so that you can see them. And so you can see the behavior. So this is a sort of like hot as dark, but then with yellow and red. Oh, just look at that terrible refresh rate. Honestly, the weirdest thing about experimenting with low refresh thermal vision is that, like, our brains while we're playing VR are so encoded to, oh, if I'm getting low frame rate, that means I'm getting bad performance and judder, but this is just how this device actually works. And in case you're wondering, one of the reasons that this is taking the amount of work that it is to actually get this into the game is that every single object that has a non-standard heat has to be manually tagged as such with a component. We have an object temperature component, we're building profiles for it, and then I'm just systematically going through the entire freaking game and putting it on everything. That looks so cool. Oh yeah, and let's just see, for example, what are some other things that have that. I believe I remembered to tag the glow stick. Let's just throw it over here. Nope, maybe I didn't. Or this might actually just be too terrible of a resolution. Nope, I forgot to tag the render on that. That's embarrassing. I've got a spreadsheet of like stuff I've converted over and stuff I haven't. We'll take a look at some more in a moment. So this is more of like what you'd expect off of the quality of a cheap handheld. So this is a 512 by 384 display, 256 by 192 sensor, 25 hertz refresh rate, and I'm using the this black and white one. The noise looks so freaking cool. So way more intelligible, but we get this like really great like motion blur with it. Again? So cool. Fill that up. Let's see here. This is like a very popular but still sort of like reasonable human budget thermal. With the rainbow color style display. This is a 1024 by 768 display, 256 by 192 sensor with 50 hertz display. So you get this cool. I know when it comes to like thermal vision, I think this one is aesthetically my favorite. There we go. And as you can see, the SOSIG body itself and the SOSIG clothes have a different temperature to it. The tracers have temperatures to them. Let's actually, if we get some AP incendiaries here, we should be able to get some fire. Come on, set them on fire. Oh, there we go. There we go. The gibs have been tagged. I literally have thousands of prefabs that I'm gonna have to go in and edit to be compatible with this. Which is why I haven't done this in the past. Every time someone asks, hey, can we get thermal stuff? I would always be like, well, we'd have to set up a whole custom rendering scheme, and then I'd have to go through the whole game and change everything so that it could be drawn correctly, which is still true. It's just, I don't know, I finally got excited about this, and that is going to make the work worth it. This is a fairly expensive weapon-mounted one, 640 by 480 sensor and display, but 60 hertz sort of thing. So we have a little less dimensional resolution than that rainbow one, but the temporal resolution is significantly better. I think I hit his grenade there. That was amazing. Ooh, there we go. Got some fire. Sweet. And then this is easily the coolest. This is your like just spare no expense, super duper modern expensive one. This is also the most expensive to render because this is simultaneously, this is a thermal scope with a night vision overlay, and it's doing some fancy edge processing for it. This thing is just super cool. Check that out. It's got the outlines, and you can see that the refresh rate of the thermal doesn't keep pace. The night vision view is instantaneous, but the thermal view has a little bit of temporal lag to it because of the refresh. And because you get that dimming from the NV, it's just such a super interesting view to look through. So cool. So cool! I just love it. So yeah, that is, oh, and some other cool things about thermals, actually, that I want to show you, because it was asked a long time ago, with stealth encryption in Take and Hold, would it be possible to have some piece of equipment be able to reveal those encryptions? Obviously, we're in a dark scene, so these will actually be fairly easy to see when they flash, but then, as you can see, they momentarily completely disappear. But these now properly show up on thermals regardless. So, if you have yourself a thermal sight, much easier. All the encryption has also been updated such that you can see the difference between the... Actually, yeah, let's switch this back out. I don't remember which is which for any of these. Oh yeah, there's our purple one. We can see that the area that is actually the target versus the no-shoot part comes up differently in color. So the hardened shows that. If we grab a recursive, we get a similar sort of thing where we can see the hit points. Wonderful. Whew. So I think that about does it. There was probably a couple more cool things that I wanted to show off of how they looked in night vision and thermals that I've just forgotten because it was a long list to memorize. But hopefully this wets your whistle and gets you excited. I aim to have a first experimental build of this soon. Exactly how soon, I'm not sure, mainly because I want to make sure that entire categories of objects are migrated over to object temperature. And so that means everything related to SOSIGs, everything related to ammo, everything related to explosions, fire, all the core VFX. Once that's all over, it'll be time for a proper test. I won't have any, like, final models for the actual equipment yet, but there'll be some sort of testing objects that will allow you to configure them into different profiles, and people can start stress testing them and seeing how it all looks and works. Any hoozles, that just about does it. I hope you folks all have yourselves a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all soon. Peace.